Hey, what's up everybody? Today I want to talk about cover crops and how they're doing now. This is kind of an update video and I'm really excited, and there's kind of been some updates, some changes, some different ways of thinking about this cover crop and soil building project that I'm working on. Alright, so the cover crops are doing well so far. Not seeing any issues here. Looks like we got some sunflower, some lentils, brassicas, black-eyed peas. So we got a lot of different things popping up here. I don't know what those are. Some kind of weeds, I think. I think there's some clover probably popping up in here as well. Different stuff. A lot of little stuff that's probably going to turn into weeds. And so I'm actually not upset about weeds. In no way, shape, or form am I trying to suppress weeds. Now, I may toss that out because that is not going to help things grow. Oh, and there's some okra in here popping up as well. So some of this stuff is probably going to die with our next freeze. But so let's back up a little. This was our first chunk, and let's go on to the next chunks and see how they're doing. Also, I want to show this is where the chicken tractor started, and it's kind of gone around here, and we've made it all the way to here. And I just threw down some seed on this little patch here. It looks nice and dark right when you move them, so it looks good. And then the chickens are here, and so I'm just going to keep moving them over and then just kind of fill in any gaps where they haven't been. And yeah, keep moving them around the yard until I just can't move them anymore. But basically I'm going to keep moving them until I actually get some pasture growing up. And because the chickens, bringing the chicken tractor over stuff is going to push it over and kind of destroy it. So I may quit doing that once I have every last inch of this place grown up in pasture, which is probably going to be a while before that happens, to be honest. Alright, so here's the second little patch. And I gotta admit, I got a little bit lazy, and I've mostly just been throwing down oats, which oats are a good forage for any kind of pasture animal. There's some brassicas in here, but there's a lot of weeds in here, and so like I said earlier, I'm really not worried about weed suppression, because a lot of the weeds that grow around here are actually fairly nutritious, and an animal like sheep is actually not so reliant on just grass. And so even if I just throw oats down, I'm still going to get at least 7 species popping up just from all the different species of weeds that are coming in. And so I'm not too worried about it. The biggest thing with pasture is I need to get some grass going. And well, that's a nice daikon radish there. And so I'm just kind of letting the oats run, and I'm gonna let other stuff fill in, because once you get soil, you're gonna get plants growing. So I'm not too worried about it. But this is some stuff I didn't see too long ago. But as you can see, I'm just throwing these seeds on top of the soil, and they're sprouting. Literally, you can see the seed right there. And so I don't even know what that is. But whatever's willing to grow here, I'm just gonna let it grow. And so this little spot hasn't come in too thick, but there's a lot of seeds that are still germinating. And actually you can see these black-eyed peas are starting to germinate and stick roots in the ground. So we got some stuff moving here. So far the system has been pretty sweet, pretty easy. Basically I'm just throwing a bucket of pig litter from where I had my pigs back there into the chicken tractor. They're spreading out, and after a few days I'll keep them in a spot for maybe 2 or 3 days, and each day I'm putting at least 1 bucket of compost in there, and that comes out to like about 1 inch of soil. So I get 1 inch of soil on there, and then I throw some seeds, and so they at least have a medium to get started in that's highly nutritious. The pig soil or litter, whatever you want to call it. And from there I'm hoping they can establish themselves in really our sand and begin to exist in that kind of subpar arena of soil. Now, I have a hard time calling our sand soil, but if there's some kind of biological life, I guess you can call it soil, and I think there is. But in this area, there's not much. So I'm really happy to be seeing something happening, seeing stuff grow, and I think the biggest thing is just I'm gonna need to keep it watered, because even that 1 inch of topsoil can get dried out pretty easily. But it's been overcast, it's been cooler, and with the days being shorter and the sun being lower in the sky, as you can see, that's kind of the gap for the sun right there to move through. And so we're not getting a lot of just intense direct heat like we did all summer, which was crazy, and it made my plants really sad. But so far so good, and I think this is a great way if you have a small area and you want to revitalize it and you just have literally nothing to start with, like I did. Most people at least have weeds to start with and they can go behind, but I mean, I had nothing, not even a living root in the ground, or at least they were very, very sparse. So this is where you start. You start with the soil and you build up, and that's what we're doing. So far so good. All right, have a great day, guys. Bye. And just for kicks, let's go check out the other cover crops that I've gone through a while back, especially since there's a butterfly in here. All right, so there's a zebra longwing. Man, they are hard to see when they fly. Maybe there's a purpose to that. So anyway, these, all right, I'll back out a little. These are the cover crops. Mostly we have daikon radish. The oats are doing well, but there is actually living stuff here, and so we got weeds under here that are covering the ground. I'll call them cover weeds. But that's this is actually a really good forage. Chickens love this stuff. It's Mexican clover. Here's the black-eyed peas, and look, we got little bean pods going. This is honeydew, actually, and they've been putting on a lot of blooms, and I've been seeing pollinators on them, so that's good. And then yeah, here's some more black-eyed peas with some blooms. I think those are going to open up tomorrow. And some of the areas didn't do so good, like this. We got a little bit of oats, but that's another reason I like the weeds, is because they actually come in and kind of start covering some of these little bit more difficult areas. And I think that's some arugula in there. And look, these what are these carpenter ants doing? I think they might be sucking the sap out of the plant or something. There's something they like there, some kind of sugars, I don't know. They're generally not my best friend. Actually, those may not be carpenter ants. I'm not sure. They look like them, but they seem a little scrawny. I'm not sure. Anyway, so we're getting some nice oats here. I mean, this is probably close to a foot long, so that's not bad. And then, man, this is a Biden's alba, a Spanish something or another needle. I don't think it's Spanish needle, but something like that. Where, but anyway, the pollinators love this stuff. In fact, there's a bee there. Is it stuck or what's? Oh, they're mating. That's 2 bees. Hold on. Yeah, that's 2 bees that are mating. Look at that. You can see their torso. Well, sorry, I'll leave you two alone. And oh, one cool thing that did pop up and is blooming, let's focus here, is this red stuff. I believe it's some type of wild lettuce. It's just very very luscious, so I'll take it. And it just popped up. I've seen a lot of butterflies sucking here, let's get up close to these. These are really pretty. I've seen a lot of butterflies sucking nectar out of these, and so and then also, of course, we got a lot of sweet potatoes, and then there's these grasses underneath. I don't really like this grass that much, but it's better than nothing, so I'll take it. And yeah, that's pretty much what all we got going on. Nothing crazy. You know, there's some things I would change about this cover crop here, and this is kind of the most well covered area. Over there's kind of patchy, but we've got a lot of weeds that are coming in to help, and then there's some grasses as well. But you know, I haven't mowed this or anything, and it's staying really low, so I'm actually not a big fan of that. I'd rather it get taller, like this over here. It's got some height to it, and yeah, so that's what we got going on with this cover crap, if that's what you want to call this area. It's honestly kind of pathetic, but we'll take what we can get. Oh, one thing that popped up is this right here. This little plant right here is hairy vetch, and at some point it will explode and is a delicious forage for ruminant animals. There's another one right there. There's actually a bunch in here, and so there's some oats. They're not going crazy. The soil here is just really poor, and so we're trying to reboot it. And so this hairy vetch that's coming up, it's really good. And I think I collected seed from down the street and threw it in here, and it has started popping up. So that's really good to see. So I wish I was having better results. This is a more intensively managed cover cropping system where I'm literally providing the soil and the seed. And then over here, I didn't provide any soil. I just put the chickens on it. They provide some fertility, and then I provide some of the seed, and then some weeds came up that are actually beneficial. So that's all we got going on. I wish I had better results, but at the end of the day, a root in the ground is better than no root in the ground. So I'll take the roots, and I'll use what I get, and I'll be grateful for it. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.